Okay, continuing with the data set from yesterday, I'll be walking you through the content which has to be negated with the intervention of ITU GSR25. That's the hashtag we are going to use. Or we can also use just ITU, and we can use CERT. This will also take care of a little bit of the chaos which is being done by the coders of the world, which they think is the new normal of the way of life. Before we start, I'm going to talk about this marker. This is a red marker, and it's a permanent marked red. The body itself is PP. So here PP stands for polypropylene UK, and so this the polypropylene is coming from United Kingdom, and we have olefin, which is from US, and this is made in India and under the brand name of Myogi. It's basically a Japanese brand, and for a lot of reasons, I had orchestrated this way back somewhere in the year 21. Um, Once the lockdown was in place, I was supposed to identify the brands and then work around the data sets. So the first and foremost is this is the brand Mugi, Muji, and just for the orchestration part, uh, purchase stuff, couldn't use the miles, so all the miles negates to zero or one or whatever the thing is. And this brand is under, I think it was under Reliance at that point of time. I have no clue where the brand is now, because you cannot get the things done in terms of like Victorinox per se. If you buy a luggage, you are able to get the you're able to get the repair done, which is kind of a lifetime warranty. But this particular brand, though it has a lot of emphasis globally, it's a global brand. You will see this brand in Turkey also. I was in Istanbul, I saw it, but my intent was not to purchase there, because there were a lot of actors who were traveling along with us, and they were just there to see what I was doing, because all these players, the domestic players, deepalls, make my trips, ease my this, that, whatever India is all about. Once I purchase anything from them in any capacity, whether it's a ticket, whether it's this, that, the orchestration is done, and I'm done and dusted. I mean, I don't want to use any of these interfaces to block or book any of the air tickets or anything to do with them. Now, the point of contention here is this is a very old brand with a lot of technology, and there's a lot of sustainability also here in terms of providing employment on a global scale. A brand is global only when it is utilizing stuff from different countries. When you're utilizing stuff from different countries, you're providing employment in those countries. It's kind of a free trade model. And India per se has not reached to a situation in their head only that we cannot be a first world country. Now it is the onus is not on the stakeholders who are the government employees, because under the law or the regime they are just civil servants, and they have to serve the society in terms of the people of India, people who are the taxpayers, people, anybody who is in India is paying tax. Let's get this straight. We have direct taxes and indirect taxes. So that is one aspect. So branding is not about just the domestic stuff. It has to be on an international basis, then only things are truly global in nature. Then we have three of these words which I just made note of. So there is something called as intent, content, divinity, and this is equivalent to, just take it, equal to intervention, and the intervention has to come from ITU. I was communicating with my Zen master, and it's not that I have only one Zen master. I have been lucky enough to have global Zen masters in different countries, in different capacities. And the only thing which needs to be understood right now is to not work against the dark web, but create that wide web which is so strong that the dark web is diminished to the level it is nullified, and then we are able to get the balance out, both in the offline world and in the online world. That is the intent, number one. Number two, Now let's talk about the content. What I'm wearing right now, it is one of the oldest, or I would say a brand which hold value at one point of time, but there has been dilution because obviously the designers and everyone, they were very good, particularly from the year 2005 to 2012. There were designers all over the place and they did design good stuff. So what I'm wearing right now is Global Desi. It's a very old, not old in terms of the purchase. Obviously, I like to, to feel the clothing. So obviously, I went to the mall and got the stuff. So this is Global Desi cotton from very long back time, or it's been ages now. The point of contention here is this is block printing. So whatever I'm wearing, these are the the cloth is taken, and it's a technique. It's a technique which is, in one sense, it seems to be native of India. But if you go to the historical data sets, it's coming from different parts of the world, because in the historical data set, the traders were moving from one place to the other. It's just in last 200 plus years, there has been little bit of civilization, whereby they said, okay, we need to give people passport, we need to give people visa, we need to give people something, they are whole accountable, so that this chaos which has been ongoing for the longest time is diminished in the best possible manner. So the point of contention here is very simple. Whatever I'm wearing, it has blocks. Now, the folks who are into the coding world, particularly from the design point of view, the people who are creatives, I mean, they do not understand blockchain, let me tell you. So all these blocks, talking about the word block, talking about the word chain, like the other day somebody just had a communication with me in the offline world and saying कि, मैं ना chain के documents ले आऊंगी. And I was like, why she's using the word chain? I mean, she doesn't even have that cognizance per se that this chain word has any value. So the point of contention here is, folks have been told, different society of the folks in India have been told to communicate this way, and that data set somehow they think is part of blockchain. The answer is big no. Blockchain is nothing to do with words. Blockchain is nothing to do with brands. Blockchain is nothing to do with what folks in the world understand today. Blockchain is much more deepened in terms of, we already said, or in our previous conversation also, we talked about blockchain is nature. Nature is not that, what's the nature of the person. Nature is the, this mother earth, if you call it mother earth. If you want to call it father earth, that is your way of thinking, because there are a lot of parallel verses which are ongoing, and that is already documented in our Vedas and everything. So the point of contention here is, I resonate fully with Sabyasachi. Obviously, I got to meet him in one of our conferences where he was awarded the Intellectual Property Award. And not only that, I have been communicating with Sabyasachi on various issues over the years, because we come from a place which has a lot of creativity. Kolkata, I mean, before Delhi was the capital, everything was being done, or the main hub or main port, or whatever the four letter word or whatever the three letter word people are trying to use, was West Bengal. And West Bengal also includes the East Bengal, it also includes Orissa, because if you go into the historical data set, Orissa and Calcutta or Kolkata, or whatever the words are, they were one at one point of time. It is just because of the wars between the prince and whatever was happening at that point of time, it was divided. Until now, people have been discussing about the impact of what Roshagulla is all about in terms of geographical indications. And let me tell you, let's take it, Roshagulla comes from east of India, because the kind of geographical indication we have in east of India is I mean, I don't have the right word, because it would be injustice on my part, me being an intellectual property lawyer who understands GI so well. I have been to that sector very early in my life, and I'll give you one chapter of my life, which is basically um, traveling from Air India to, हम कलकत्ता बोलते थे, like many people say Calcutta, it's Calcutta. But the intellectual people call it Calcutta at that point of time. I'm talking way back in 91, 92. So I used to travel during my summer holidays. I was traveling alone, so I was traveling with the air hostess. So the point of contention here is from the point where the airport was. It was called Dum Dum Airport. That's what I remember. And a very green, lush green, traveling to Salt Lake, and Salt Lake is the science city. We have Eden Gardens. It is nearby my place, but yes, it's nearby my place and stuff. And we have all these tanks. So every because it's a land, it's not in Delhi we call it koti, but it's like landowners. So you will see a lot of landowners in Salt Lake itself. Now these landowners, the way it was designed as BMC is Bidhan Nagar Municipality Corporation. So designing happened somewhere in 1960s till 1970s, and this is basically, the land is leased for 999 years. Can you believe that? I mean, I was so mesmerized when I was reading this law, and I had to read it because of my own ancestral property situated in FD block, Salt Lake. And I read to the point that I understood the real estate very profoundly, because the paperwork and all was done so beautifully and stuff. Just imagine, I don't know how many people understand that, but in the 1980s, that particular land which I own today was purchased around INR. So it's Indian rupees. INR at that point of time, somewhere from 20 to 30,000, but I think it was somewhere, because it's been a while. I had looked into documents. So just imagine the, not the imagination, but the implementation of the real estate laws in real sense. The 999 years. Can you believe that? I mean, the legislation was so strong, and the legislative assemblies at that point of time, they drafted it so strongly that whatever happens, come what may, Calcutta, the West Bengal overall is going to survive. Why I say so? Because the drafting and everything has been done in that way. And over the years, even they have been very smart, because at the back end, the intellect acumen of the intellectual people of the world who are coming from that direction, even if they're not staying in Kolkata or Calcutta, that doesn't mean that they are not looking into the data set. And I have been instrumental in this since 2010, and we are sitting in 2025. I'm like, every day I have a hearty laugh, like the way we orchestrated everything. And the good thing is, it was just to create the data set that what can go wrong. Once you know what can go wrong, able to nullify it in real time. And we are sitting in 2020. On paper, the good thing is, by a community, because that community itself, they do nothing but trespass properties, purchase it from people who are older generation, because the kids have left it. So a lot of income tax cases have been filed against that person. So I was very happy when this person had connected with us, that they want to do the kacha paper thing. And the thing is, it was done so beautifully that I'll just tell you how I executed everything, just from the point of view of the data set. Now, this is a leasehold property, 999 years, and this is done on proper government papers. And that is why the government of West Bengal has a lot of cognizance of how law has to run in the country per se. Now, what has happened in this particular case is, they said we'll do circle rate, this that. Again, they started paying 5 lakhs per katta, because for me, the way I pronounce is katta. In Delhi, the land stuff is pronounced in different way. But let's go back to the reality check. The intellectual property office is based out in Salt Lake, where all the design work happens. That's industrial design. Now I am connected to the colleges, I'm connected to the professors, I'm connected to the best of the people in the government of West Bengal, which is a good thing. I mean, we have to embrace the country as a whole. We cannot divide the country, and that is what is important right now. Now, understanding the data set today, we are sitting in 2025. The kacha paper happened in Delhi, New Delhi itself. So the party had come to New Delhi, flew to New Delhi. That data is there. My cousin from who is my maternal uncle's son, my maternal uncle expired. That's the way I want to talk about. Expiry happened somewhere in 2005 or whatever the year was. So he came from Bombay. And at Delhi itself, which was located here in Janakpuri, Kacha paper was executed that this will happen. And I told the party, at least pay the principal amount, and whatever amount is left, let's do FD. FD is fixed deposit, because once you do FD, then you have, like, the way things work in Kolkata is it never happens because of whatever reasons. Because at the back end, BMC knows that we cannot allow this 999 years of the enactment of how Salt Lake was built to be disrupted by anyone, whether it's a community. Because right now, a lot of community has taken over the properties without knowing what they got into. But me being a lawyer and understanding the intricacies of the property law, I made sure that we do it in a way where I'm able to challenge and get it back when needed. Now, in very simple words, this person gives a principal amount, and Supreme Court has already stated that in kacha paper doesn't hold any value. Now, kacha paper doesn't hold value. The enactment never happened, and now it's already 15 years. So I have converted the documentation in a manner, in a smart contract, whereby this property is on rent, and uh, maybe 15 years, 20 years rent, and then obviously the ownership still remains with us. The electricity bill is going in my late grandfather's name, Pasanta Kumar Datta